Notice of Conditional Acceptance. A comprehensive overview. Introduction. A Notice of Conditional Acceptance, NOCA, is a powerful and lawful administrative remedy used to respond to offers, demands, claims, or accusations, typically from public or private entities, including government agencies, banks, or courts. It functions under contract and commercial law principles and is particularly recognized under the Uniform Commercial Code, UCC. This remedy allows a party to conditionally agree to a request or claim, provided that certain terms, conditions, or proof are met. This report outlines the legal foundation, structure, application, and strategic use of a Notice of Conditional Acceptance. It also explores its importance in commercial settings and as a tool of remedy and private administrative processes. Legal foundation. A Notice of Conditional Acceptance is based on several key legal principles. UCC 3501b, 2, authorizes presentment in response to an instrument or claim. UCC 1308, reservation of rights without prejudice. Maxims of law. He who does not deny, admits, and silences agreement in law. Contract law, acceptance must be voluntary, informed, and can be conditional. The NOCA is not a rejection, it is an offer to accept based on clearly stated conditions that must be met by the other party. Purpose of a Notice of Conditional Acceptance. To shift the burden of proof to the claimant. To protect the rights of the respondent by avoiding dishonor or default. To expose fraud, misconduct, or errors in administrative or legal processes. To establish a commercial record for use in later proceedings or affidavits. To buy time for investigation and negotiation without rejection. To initiate a private remedy process through the use of affidavits and administrative records. When to use a Notice of Conditional Acceptance. In response to a court summons or citation, a debt collection notice, a tax notice or audit letter, a foreclosure action, any legal or commercial claim, demands from utility companies or government agencies, offers to contract that are unclear or contain potential liability. Key components of a Notice of Conditional Acceptance. 1. Header and identification. Name and mailing location of respondent. Certified mail number or other tracking reference. Reference to the offer or claim being conditionally accepted. 2. Statement of conditional acceptance. I conditionally accept your offer upon proof of claim. State clearly that acceptance is based on the fulfillment of specified conditions. 3. Terms and conditions. A list of questions or proof of claims required to complete the acceptance. May include verification of the claimant's authority, the original contract or agreement signed, proof that the law or statute applies to the respondent, evidence of full disclosure and mutual consent. 4. Timeframe for response. Typically 10 or 14 days. Failure to respond equates to tacit agreement or dishonor. 5. Closing statement. Reserve all rights under UCC 1308. Statement that non-response will be deemed agreement and dishonor. Signature under penalty of perjury, if required. 6. Certificate of service. A separate notarized declaration confirming the delivery of the NOCA. Strategic use of conditional acceptance. Creates a record of good faith, demonstrates willingness to resolve the issue. Establishes standing, used in court to show administrative remedy was sought. Silence becomes agreement. If the other party fails to respond, the terms of the NOCA may be accepted by default. Foundation for lien or judgment. If dishonor occurs, a follow-up process, such as a certificate of dishonor, affidavit of truth, or commercial lien, can be initiated. Sample use case. Scenario: a homeowner receives a foreclosure notice from a bank claiming unpaid debt. Response: The homeowner sends a notice of conditional acceptance asking the bank to prove the existence of the original wedding promissory note, show the chain of title for the mortgage, provide documentation that the bank suffered any actual financial loss, confirm their legal authority to initiate foreclosure. If the bank fails to respond with sufficient evidence, the homeowner can proceed with administrative affidavits and potentially challenge the foreclosure action. Common follow-up documents. Notice of default, if no response is received to the NOCA. Certificate of non-response, a formal declaration that no adequate reply was received. Affidavit of truth, a sworn statement of facts establishing the record. Notice of fault/opportunity to cure, offers one last chance to respond. Commercial lien or claim, if all remedies are exhausted and dishonor is confirmed. Best practices. Use certified or registered mail with a return receipt. Keep multiple copies of all correspondence. File and organize responses and non-responses. Always remain respectful and professional in language. Seek proper coaching or legal consultation if unfamiliar with processes. Risks and considerations. Misuse or improper use may lead to adverse consequences in court. Conditional acceptance does not stop all legal proceedings. Courts may ignore documents if not properly served or supported by legal strategy. It should be part of a broader administrative process, not a one-off tactic. Conclusion. The Notice of Conditional Acceptance is a valuable tool in private and commercial remedy when used correctly. It provides a lawful method of challenging unfounded claims, forcing accountability, and preserving rights. By asserting terms and seeking clarity, the individual shifts the legal burden, opens the door to remedy, and creates a documented path toward resolution. Understanding and applying this process responsibly is key to protecting one's interests and asserting control in both public and private disputes.